Hello everyone, this is G and I'm back with another video. So, I just got an email. I just got an email from my job actually. It's an email that was sent out to everybody. Right? I work, for those who don't know, I work in a college in New York City. Though I don't work with the students typically. I work in the Office of Compliance, interestingly enough. Right, so when people have complaints about, issues regarding sexual misconduct or discrimination and those type of things. Those type of complaints come to the office I work in, and of course we do a great many other things, but that's one of the major roles. But anyway, interestingly enough, I just got an email before the end of the workday that was addressed to the students. But really, when it goes to everybody, is it truly addressed to just the students? But anyway, the point of the email was to encourage people to get registered and to vote. And while it was not overtly advocating for any political person or position, you can imagine that a college in New York City, which has been, vote blue no matter who for at least as long as I've been aware of politics, you can probably imagine what the sort of intended or implied, implicated political position is, right? Sort of what they want to encourage you to engage in and vote for, right? So it's overtly, asking people to sign up and to vote. And I would say there's an implicit implication or expectation that you'll vote a certain way, that you'll vote for the blue party, as it were, and not the red party. But this is just because I A look good in red and B felt like wearing this. It's not an indication or anything of a political stance or support. So don't read into it, right? As Freud once said, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar, and sometimes a red dress is just a red, well, skirt, technically, whatever. Sometimes a red skirt, red dress is just a red skirt or a red dress. I guess technically it counts as a dress. I don't know anymore. But anyway, the point of this video is that email got me thinking and it got me inspired. So, in the spirit of that email, I want to encourage my audience, that whoever hears me, whether you are subscribed or not, I also want to encourage you toward a certain action. So, my fellow Americans, and even not Americans, because I have an international audience, and America is not the first or last country to practice politics or voting or democracy or anything of that sort. So, my fellow Americans and non Americans, I want you, thumb up there, finger, I want you to think. That's what I'm asking you to do, if it means anything to you. With this political season coming up, or whatever the political season is in your country, if you are not an American, the most, well, a large portion, I'll say, of Americans will be voting for somebody come November 3rd. But all I am asking of you, my dear audience, is that you think. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean is that I ask of you to think, and to think critically, and to question yourself. Question yourself that whatever stance and belief and decision you have made about politics, whatever that is, whether it's to vote for one party or another, whether it's similar to mine and you've decided to not vote at all, whatever that is, I want you to think and to ask yourself, what, rather I say, ask yourself why. Ask yourself the question of why. Why do you believe what you believe, whatever that may be? Why are you going to vote or not vote? And if you're going to vote, why are you going to vote for this person? And why are you going to vote for that person? Because, especially in today's age, right? There are two things that are, in my opinion, very unique to being human, right? Things that animals, for example, cannot do, that we can and that we sadly abuse because we're human. That is our free will and our ability, my finger's coming through, and our ability to think. We have the freedom, in at least most first world countries, to make decisions regarding politics and what part we play, if we play any, in politics. We have the right to decide to go vote or to not go vote and who to vote for, right? We have this ability to express our free will, right? And we also have the ability to express our ability to think and to think critically. And so many people, especially in media, right, always try to steer you into a particular direction. And especially with politics in America, that direction, right, that media tries to steer everybody into is a direction of far left extremist politics. So let me explain what the goal of my video is. The goal of my video is to not convince you. I'm not trying to shill or represent any political stance. I am not shilling for the Democrats or Biden and Kamala, especially not Biden. Yes, I'm very aware of that "you ain't black" comment. So I'm not shilling for Biden or Harris or the Dems. I'm also not shilling for Trump or the Republicans. I'm not even shilling for my own stance, which is an apolitical one. What I am shilling for, if the term can be applied, is that I want you, if at all possible, and I certainly think with the audience I have it's very possible, that whatever your political stance is, to simply ask yourself the question of why. And ask yourself if the beliefs and positions and decisions and conclusions you have come to about politics, whatever they may be, whatever side of the aisle, if there is an aisle, or a spectrum, whatever you want to call it, you fall on or fall into. Ask yourself, are these opinions, are these positions, are these conclusions my own? Have I come to them as much as one can on my own? Do they truly represent me? Are they something I truly believe in? Or are they the positions that my parents want me to have? Or my husband or wife wants me to have? Or the racial group that I belong to? Or the gender group I belong to want me to have? Do I truly believe in whatever it is I believe in, basically? So that's all I'm asking of anybody who hears this video. Think for yourself. And whatever decision you come to, make sure it's your own. Basically, what I'm asking is this. Could you answer the question of why when it comes to your political opinions and whatnot? And especially with voting, again, what decision you make as regards voting. Could you explain to someone who asked you why? Could you answer that question? Why? Could you stand before a judge and make an argument and explain, Judge, sir, I did this, I did X, right? I made this decision, I voted for this person, or for that person, or I did not vote at all, whatever it is, and here's why. Could you make a strong, convincing argument that would at least help another person understand? Or most importantly, do you understand why you believe what you believe? And if you cannot answer the question of why, if you cannot answer the question of why you believe what you believe, perhaps it's time you ask yourself the question of why and examine, right? Think critically and think with an open mind, because believe me, working in higher education for many years now, for over a decade, I can tell you many people of all types and all stripes engage in what I like to call critical thinking with a closed mind. So if you can't answer the question of why, or perhaps even if you can, maybe still ask yourself, right? Think critically, but think critically with an open mind. But especially if you can't answer the question of why, if you can't answer that question even to yourself, ask yourself the question of why you believe a certain thing, or why you don't believe a certain thing. Is it because you have done individual personal research and you've come to believe that this viewpoint or belief is for you or makes sense to you, or are you maintaining a certain belief or position because that's what my family's always done, that's what my people, whatever that may be, always do, that's how we always vote? So that's all I'm asking of you. Ask yourself the question of why. So that's the video. That's probably the most overtly political message I'll ever have, or at least I hope to have. But I hope everybody's well, and if you're not well, I hope you're getting well. And I will see everyone in the next one, whenever that may be. So have a good day, everyone. See you around.